Wally. The case is locked though, but the key is it's just inside the door there on the table.
Oh.
And yeah, they should be charging in the wall, or they might be in our radio. Oh no.
looks like it's dead already.
Yeah, these things have.
This is on.
Yeah. Yeah, these things have been crapping out lately.
No, it's like going like this. It's dead.
Oh, maybe the microphone just.
No, it's the battery. I wish I could have something in my car. Oh, these are rechargeable.
Well, yeah, we had to buy those. And
Oh, you don't have anything else?
oh, I guess. Well, yeah, the other ones are dead. And then yeah, these ones should have been.
Testing. No, this is not really. Not really. Sometimes you have stuff. Yeah. At least let's see if I can use this bird sound during the stream.
All these saved the day.
Okay.
I knew they were somewhere. They found some.
Okay. Testing. What? There. Okay. You ready? Buddy took it out of the radio. Now we have.
Good. Okay, so we can start.
Pallbearers, please.
Oh, all the.
Follow me this way. מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי לו אכסר, מן הוד שירביצני, על מי מנוחות ינעלני, נפשי ישובר, יענכני במגלי צדק למען שמו, גם כי אלך וגיא מוות, לא ידע כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי, דשענת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה, אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. verse of the 23rd Psalm, a Psalm of David, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Giving me repose in green meadows, leading me beside the still waters to revive my spirit, guiding me on the right path, for that is God's essence. Though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, when I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you to all of you at home for tuning in. My name is Rabah from Congregation Shaarey Zedek, and it's my great honor to be here with all of you, officiating the funeral services for Eleanor Herst, Zichronah Libracha, of blessed memory. She was also known to the Jewish people by her Hebrew name, Ethel Batzvi Herschel V'Yehudit, Zichronah Libracha. She was the daughter of Harry and Edith Stern of blessed memory, the wife of the late Max Herst of blessed memory, the sister of William Stern of blessed memory, the mother of Deborah Herst and Carol Anil Dubov, the grandmother of Jonathan and Narissa, Michael and Julie, and Rachel Jonathan, the great grandmother of Phoebe. Eleanor passed away on Friday, May 26, at the age of 93. This morning, we are saying farewell to a woman who went to great lengths to be sure that everything she did was not only good, but also beautiful. Making good things beautiful should not be just an addition. The Talmud explains the verse, "This is my God, and I will glorify him," as beautify yourself before God in everything you do. That's why, even though we could fulfill the mitzvah of Rosh Hashanah with a small shofar, most people would prefer a beautiful one. We hang beautiful mezuzot on our doors. We wear beautiful talesim with many colors. When we beautify what we do, we are actually elevating our creations to a new level. God is hinting at this principle when God blessed two of Noah's sons, Sem and Japheth. We read in Genesis 9:27, "May God broaden Japhet, and may he dwell in the tents of Sem. The Hebrew name Sem means name, and the rabbis teach that it relates to the search for knowledge and intellectual stimulation. And the Hebrew name Japhet means beauty, and the rabbis teach that it relates to the desire to beautify things. So, one popular interpretation of this verse is that the desire to beautify our creations should be present in the lives of every Jew. After all, we are the descendants of Sem. We are Semites. And Eleanor knew how to combine her intellectual pursuits with making everything beautiful along the way. When we look back at Eleanor's life, we can see how she honored the words of the Torah by making Japhet a part of the tents of Sem. In a few minutes, we're going to hear some beautiful memories about Eleanor from her two daughters and her grandchildren. During a Jewish funeral, we have lots of rituals and prayers, but the most important part is, no doubt, the eulogy. This has also biblical roots, as we see in the Bible that our father Abraham eulogized Sarah, his wife. The word eulogy means a good word. Giving a eulogy is a way to honor Eleanor's life. It is also a way to provide comfort to those who mourn. So to begin the process, I'd like to invite Carol and Deborah to come to the microphone to eulogize their mother.
Mom was born in Winnipeg and grew up in Lestock, Saskatchewan, with her parents and her older brother Will, or Willie as they called him. They moved back to Winnipeg when Mom was ready for high school. Mom attended St. John's School, high school, and upon graduation entered business college. She worked for the Manitoba Grain Exchange until she and Dad married in 1954, when Mom became a full-time homemaker and then mother. Mom had a playful side to her. As young kids, she would often take a squirt gun and chase us around the house, squirting us with water. We would squirt her back, but she definitely came out the drier of the three of us. Whatever Mom tried her hand at, she did beautifully. Her cooking was delicious. Okay, maybe not the liver and onions so much, but certainly her lamb chops, beef tenderloin, roasts, and many other dishes. She took recipes or store-bought items and doctored them up with her own added seasoning. Her table was always beautifully set with a wonderful seasonally inspired centerpiece or flower arrangement. She was an accomplished hostess. Mom was also a baker, and it was always a treat to come home from school to the smell of fresh baked cookies, or even better, her cinnamon buns with their exquisitely gooey and sticky bottoms. Our cousins always looked forward to coming over for dinner to enjoy Mom's wonderful cooking and baking. Being the youngest of the aunts on her dad's side, she was considered the young, trendy aunt, and they had fun spending time with. Mom was very creative and always up to date with what was in fashion. She took a flower arranging class and put together her own beautiful bouquets. She took pottery classes and learned to throw bowls using a pottery wheel and made lovely, have I missed a page? And made lovely plates as well. She took up knitting, and I'm missing part of mine. Didn't print out. Okay. She took up knitting and made beautiful sweaters, and would depend on the wool man, who became a good friend of hers, and she called upon him often to guide her. We reap the rewards of her efforts with the beautiful sweaters she made for us. She even knit a full-length lined coat for herself. When we were young, Mom and our Aunt Polly would often be found in the basement creating wonderful crafts. Many of these craft sessions revolved around creating Hanukkah decorations. One year it was melting plastic chips into dreidel and Star of David shapes, coating them with blue and silver glitter, and assembling them into mobiles. For a number of years, they were into candle making. Mom was a doting grandmother who was always there for her grandchildren. She was always available to babysit when Neil and I wanted to go out, and always available to watch a sick child on a work day. She loved to take her grandchildren on outings, most particularly to the art gallery. When each child turned 13 and Mom and Dad took them on a weekend trip to Ottawa, it was important to them for the kids to visit Canada's capital city and take in all that it had to offer. Mom loved to travel, and she and Dad spent time in Portugal, London, and Paris. They traveled to Calgary to visit Mom's best friend, Pearl. They often traveled to California to visit Dad's family, and to Cleveland, Ohio, to visit Mom's brother, Will, and his family. Mom was an adored aunt by nieces and nephews on both sides of the family, as she was young, hip, and engaged with everything current. Mom and Dad had many friends with whom they enjoyed going out for dinner and to the movies. Mom in particular was a great movie buff, and she didn't miss seeing any new movies, including foreign films, shown at her favorite cinematheque. They also had season tickets to the Symphony and attended Manitoba Theatre Centre and even Manitoba Theatre for Young People plays from time to time. In her 70s, Mom began to take adult education classes at the University of Winnipeg. She loved to learn about history and art. She became quite good friends with one of the professors, and he, along with Mom and a few of the other students, would often have lunch or coffee together. She rekindled a close friendship with two of her fellow students, Norma and Herbert, whom she had known years earlier. Dad passed away in 2018, and Mom continued to live in the house that they had built in 1960. She was able to continue on her own with our support and the help of her dear caregiver and companion, Manny. Early in 2019, she was diagnosed with dementia, and by the summer of 2019, it was clear that she was struggling and needed more support. She moved into Shaarey retirement residence. Manny continued to care for Mom as if she was a dear family member. He took her on outings to the park and for ice cream, which she loved. Manny would, when she was no longer able to go to the hairdresser or to have her nails done, Manny would paint them for her. He even curled her hair for her on what would be her last day here with us. We are certainly grateful to Manny for his devotion and care of our Mom. We are also grateful for the care that Mom received from everyone at Shaftesbury. Nurses Jennifer and Erica, healthcare aides Sheila, Anna, Mitch, and numerous others, Debbie and Brian at the front desk, who were always kind and accommodating, and Brandy and Cheryl, who always had time to answer questions. We would also like to thank Dr. Simkin and Dr. Lezen for their excellent and compassionate care they gave to our Mom. We miss you, Mom.
Thank you so much. I would like now to invite Jonathan, Michael, and Rachel to come to the microphone.
It's been hard to see, even think about Grandma over the past few years. We knew it was the beginning of the end when the ceiling of her home collapsed inwards. The sky was literally falling down. We couldn't put to words how much we appreciate and love all of you who have helped and cared for Grandma over these years as she moved from Lanark, helping her settle at Shaftesbury, and providing her compassion and dignity through the progressing symptoms of her dementia. To our family, our friends, the incredible staff that cared for her Grandma at Shaftesbury, and of course Manny's continuous positivity and support, we thank you all. We also want to specifically mention our Mom. Your selfless dedication, caring and support for Grandma has been remarkable. You provided, organized, and advocated for Grandma so that she would have everything she could need at a time in her life when she didn't have a voice of her own. We recognize all of the support you gave her, and we're inspired by the depths of your love. Thank you, Mom. Life's ending can be cruel. It can distort how we see and remember someone, which is why we want to focus on who Grandma was when she was Grandma. She felt larger than life. She had a presence, a prestige that she carried within her every gesture and comment. She was a woman who had a passion for culture, for food, art, music, and film, within her home, throughout Winnipeg, and further abroad. Her stylish outfits, with a mauve jacket and pants and a matching hat, were never without a beautiful brooch pinned to her chest. She was always put together, elegant and proper. I'll personally never forget being in London, England for our cousin Zach and Ellie's wedding, and there was one day when we had some unscheduled downtime, so Grandma, Zeta, and I decided to take the tube downtown to the city center. And there was one moment where we were walking along the high streets of London when I saw Grandma ahead of me. She was dressed impeccably as always, and I thought how perfectly she fit in. She was surrounded by this incredible beauty and culture and history, and she seemed at peace. To be honest, Grandma had then turned around and had burst into a howling fit of laughter upon seeing me. She couldn't even express herself, but through tears in her eyes, she pointed at my waist, which led me to look down, and I saw a strip of toilet paper billowing in the wind behind me. In the moment, I was, of course, mortified, but this memory also speaks to Grandma's incredible sense of humor and how she stayed young and modern with the times. Not only did Grandma have grace, but she religiously read the newspaper and watched Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy nightly. She was always on the cutting edge of trends in music, film, art, fashion, and food. We have all been impressed and inspired by her knowledge of upcoming fads, including the ones for younger audiences like her grandchildren's ages. Rachel, Michael, and I were reading our first edition hardcover Hunger Games and Harry Potter books before people even knew what a Muggle was. I'll never forget the day we came over to Grandma and Zeta's home for our weekly Friday dinner, and Grandma was explaining how she had just seen this new movie, the lewd coming-of-age teen comedy, American Pie, and how it is actually a hilarious good time that we should all go out and see. Before anyone had used the term foodie, chefs of upcoming restaurants in Winnipeg would come over to Grandma's table and chat with her about their menu. Our frequent dim sum lunches at Kumkoon Garden were always elevated by our Grandma and Zeta's affable rapport with the restaurant's manager. It is a testament to her character that through her vibrant 93 years, Grandma continued to stay relevant and up-to-date with the ever-changing world around her. We like to think that part of this was a way to stay connected with her daughters and grandchildren. Our Grandma and Zeta were very hands-on throughout our lives, and the three of us have numerous memories of time spent at their home on Lanark Street. We watched and learned how to garden in their backyard. Grandma introduced us to more sophisticated dishes like chopped liver and rack of lambs with mint jelly. This may not be surprising when the Food Network, in particular Martha Stewart, was ever present on their kitchen TV. We listened to all the famous composers on their old-style record player. Outside the home, one of our most frequent trips together was to the Winnipeg Art Gallery to see the newest exhibitions. As a gift for our bar and bat mitzvahs, our Grandma and Zeta took each of us on a trip to Ottawa to take in the culture and history of our country's capital. It's easy to say that Grandma fostered our passion for life and to always seek and embrace novel cultural experiences. There's a lot we're going to miss about Grandma. We are thankful and cherish the time we had together, and that Grandma was able to share 20 months together with her great-granddaughter Phoebe. Grandma, we love you very much and miss you.
Thank you so much for sharing such beautiful memories with all of us. passed away during Shabbat, and was also the festival of Shavuot. It's interesting that the Talmud notes that King David also died on Shabbat, which happened to fall also on Shavuot. King David, the one who wrote the most beautiful poetry in the entire Bible. And both Eleanor and King David understood how to make everything not only great, but also beautiful. May the memory of Eleanor Herst, Zichronah Livracha, of blessed memory, be a source of blessing, inspiration, and comfort. And let us all say, Amen. I'm going to continue now with the recitation of the memorial prayer, the El Maleh Rachamim. El Maleh Rachamim, Shochem Bameroimim, Hametzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShechina V'Mahalot Kedoshim Kedoshim Uteorim Kezoyer Arakim Amazirim Ed Nishemat Ed Nishemat Etel Batzvi Herschel Veyehudit She'alecha Leolama Bavur Shanu Mitpalelim V'ad Azkarat Nishemata Began Eitein Began Edentei Menuchata Lachem Balerachamim Ya Astir Eya Vesederkena Avavleulamim Utzeror Vitzror Achayim Achayim Et Nishemata Adonai Unachalata Vetanuach Veshalom Al Mishkava Venomar Amen. Exalted, passionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure to the soul of Eleanor Herst, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. May she rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. So we have one more thing to do here at the cemetery. And then immediately after the burial is over, the family will continue with a private meal of consolation. But there is going to be 2 evenings of Shiva where you can come to the house and visit with the family to participate in the service and to recite the Kaddish with them. The Shiva is going to be tonight and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. from 7 to 9 at 23 Carmarthen Boulevard. If you want to come for the service is going to be at 7:30 p.m. Donations on Eleanor's memory could be made to the Alzheimer's Society, or of course, to the charity of your choice. Now, I'd like to invite the family and everyone else to join us in the recitation of the words of comfort, the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal, ve'yitgadash, shemei Rabah, ve'alma diverah hiruteh, ve'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayeh dechol Beit Israel, ba'agalah u'vizman kariv, ve'imru, Amen. Yeheh shemer Rabah mevorach le'olam u'le'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu. Leila min kol virchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'imeru. Amen. Yeheh shlama Rabah min shemaya. B'chaim aleinu v'al kol Israel v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom imromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Israel v'imeru. Amen. Amakom inachem etchem v'tok sharav letzion b'Yerushalayim. May God bless you and comfort you. And let us all say, Amen. And now, before we leave the cemetery, there is the tradition to participate in the burial process. So everybody here is invited, after the family, to come forward, pick up a shovel, and to put a little bit of earth on top of Eleanor's coffin. The tradition is to put at least 3 shovels full of earth. If you consider that the ground is too hard for any of you, there is a white bucket here at the front with fine sand, so you can use that as well, and it's totally acceptable. It's way easier to do it that way. So thank you again, everyone, for coming out and participating and to honor and pay respect to Eleanor and to be with the family. Thank you to all of you online as well. I would like to invite immediate family first. And after you put some earth on top of the coffin, remember, feel free to return to your transportation. And I'm going to repeat once again the information for the Shiva. 23 Carmarthen Boulevard. Tonight, 7 to 9 p.m. Tomorrow, 7 to 9 p.m. And the davening, both nights, at 7:30 p.m. Thanks again.